I'm just your average, snack-loving, adventure-chasing golden dog. And guess what? My best friend Dad and I go on the coolest adventures. We've got a big black Jeep named Birdie, a whole world to explore, and, of course, plenty of snacks. Every week is a brand new tail-wagging adventure. You never know what we'll find. Hidden carrots, new friends, maybe even buried treasure. So grab your hat, pack your snacks, and come with us.
Harley and Dad's epic Canadian tour, Alberta! The next morning, the sun was just beginning to rise over the last ridge of British Columbia as Oliver rumbled down the quiet highway. Harley sat up in the passenger seat, blinking sleepily, his blue collar slightly askew. "We're not in BC anymore, are we?" he asked through a yawn. Dad, hands steady on the wheel, gave a warm smile. "Nope, just crossed into Alberta, a brand new province to explore." Harley's ears perked up. "What's Alberta like? Is it full of adventures?" "Absolutely," said Dad. "It's got dinosaurs, rodeos, mountains, glaciers, prairies, and yes, plenty of snacks." Harley gasped. "Snackberta! I mean Alberta! Let's go!" Oliver gave a cheerful honk as they rolled eastward under the wide Alberta sky. Fields stretched out to the horizon, and the mountains stood tall in the rearview mirror like quiet giants saying goodbye. Harley pressed his face to the window, tail thumping excitedly. New smells, new snacks, and maybe a dinosaur bone or two? Dad chuckled. "Hold on to your fur, Harley. We've got a whole province ahead." And with that, the journey through Alberta began. Their first stop was Drumheller, a town nestled in Alberta's Badlands. "Whoa," Harley whispered, as Oliver wound through a canyon of strange, layered rock. The hills looked like stacked pancakes with syrupy layers of stone and soil. Harley's eyes grew wide when they pulled up to a towering dinosaur sculpture. "That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex," Harley barked. Inside the Royal Tyrrell Museum, Harley padded through halls of ancient bones, gazing up at the skeletons of long-gone giants. He pressed his nose to the glass where a sign read, "Fossils of Alberta." "Can we take one home?" he whispered. "Nope," said Dad, "but we can take a photo." They posed next to a triceratops skull, Harley with his tongue out, Dad doing a silly dino claw pose. "Roar!" Harley growled. Next, they rolled into Calgary, where the big city skyline met grassy hills. The Calgary Stampede wasn't on yet, but the grounds were open. "Yee-haw!" Harley barked, wearing a tiny cowboy hat Dad had bought at a gas station. They watched a group of riders practice lasso tricks and barrel races. One cowboy even let Harley sit on his saddle for a photo. The cowboy gave Harley a dog biscuit shaped like a horseshoe. "That's the most delicious boot I've ever eaten," Harley mumbled, crumbs falling from his grin. Before leaving, they stopped at a food truck where Dad got a pancake burger and Harley got a peanut butter pup cone. "Alberta knows how to snack," Harley said, licking his lips. After Calgary, Oliver climbed higher and higher into the mountains. "Are we driving into the sky?" Harley asked, watching snow-capped peaks grow taller around them. They reached Banff National Park and parked near Lake Louise, where turquoise water shimmered beneath the towering Rockies. Harley stepped out and shivered. "Brrr! Why is this summer air so spicy cold?" "That's mountain air," Dad said, zipping up his jacket. They hiked up a trail that curled through pine trees and wildflowers. Along the way, they spotted a mountain goat, a marmot, and even a black bear napping way down in the valley. Dad kept Harley close on his leash, just in case. When they reached a lookout, Harley sat beside Dad on a big flat rock. "This view is snack-worthy." Dad handed him a jerky treat. "Agreed." They stayed until the sun turned the mountains golden, and a soft breeze ruffled Harley's ears. "Next stop, Jasper," Dad said the next morning as they cruised along the Icefields Parkway, one of the most scenic drives in the world. Waterfalls tumbled beside them. Glaciers glistened in the distance. At Athabasca Glacier, Harley cautiously stepped onto a thick patch of snow. "Dad, this snow is crunchy, and we are walking on a glacier?" Dad nodded. "Thousands of years old." Harley sniffed the icy air and stuck out his tongue to lick the icy ground. "Tastes like ancient chill." They even took a special snow coach up onto the glacier, and Harley wore little doggy booties to keep his paws warm. Back at Oliver, Harley wrapped up in his blanket. "Today was colder than my frozen dog dish, but awesome." On their final stop, they parked Oliver in Elk Island National Park, just east of Edmonton. It was quieter here, peaceful. Harley noticed how the grass rustled softly and how bison grazed lazily in the distance. That night, they laid on a picnic blanket outside the RV. The stars were especially sparkly. Then, whoosh! A green ribbon danced across the sky. "Dad!" Harley gasped. "Is the sky playing tag?" Dad smiled. "That's the Northern Lights, Harley." Harley's mouth hung open as purple and blue streaks joined the green. It looked like a sky full of magic crayons. "I never want to blink again," Harley whispered. The next morning, they cooked breakfast beside Oliver. Dad flipped flapjacks on the camp stove, and Harley helped by not stealing the bacon, which was hard. "Dad," Harley said between bites, "this trip was the best. Mountains, dinosaurs, lights in the sky, even cowboy snacks." Dad poured more syrup. "It was all even better with you." Harley's tail wagged. "Can we do another province soon?" Dad winked. "Oliver's already warming up." As they packed up and rolled down the highway, Harley looked back one last time. Alberta faded into the mirror, but the memories stayed glowing bright in his big, snack-loving heart. He settled down into his seat and looked excitedly at the "Welcome to Saskatchewan" sign ahead of them. Best province ever.
What a great day that turned out to be. Best day ever. I can't wait until next week when we go on another adventure. Make sure you click subscribe so you can join me, and like my video too, please, because I sure like you.